As far as our theme for the today's event is concerned, that's around the key questions which any of the entrepreneur would have. And I'm sure that as we progress towards the different sessions and inputs from the speakers, we'll try to seek answers to that.
Direct marketing, customer satisfaction, engagement survey, rewards and recognition program, key customers meet, technical due diligence, commercial diligence, product evaluations, launching new products, even regulatory. And passion includes business development, identifying and screening, propose potential business deals, alignment to business and structure of the deals, and also on the negotiating strategy and positions, analyzing product, company strength, examining partner needs and goals, and also close the business deals by coordinating requirements, developing and negotiating contracts. So I'm sure now we'll really have a great learning experience for Mr. Prasad and the answer to our key questions. So please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Prasad.
I'll be very happy to share that SME, for an SME, the growth is life, and it is very important because we are always competing with the multinational companies and of course the Indian SMEs of the past who have grown big. So especially when the SME is in the healthcare industry, I would say the growth is not life, it is oxygen for us. We might be small, but we make a big difference. Like Mr. Rajan says, we are part of your life every day. Similarly, we are also part of your life every day. And we are from Accurex, and our mission is testing life and saving lives. And in this pursuit, we are associated with each one of your family members at some point of time. Of course, we don't come in touch with you directly. We help the labs to provide you better results so that decisions which your physician or the doctor takes keeps you healthy and also pulls you out of the illness which you are suffering from. Accurex is there for last 30 years in this industry. We call this industry as the In-vitro Diagnostics industry. It means the test which is not done on you, but test done outside or on a blood or different samples which are collected from the person. It can be urine, it can be blood, it can be serum, or it can be a CSF. So these are in vitro diagnostics, and why we are happy to be in this industry. The reason is that 70% of the treatment decisions which are made by the physicians depend on these tests. Now, for example, some of your kids in the house, they're having a fever. Now, the doctor will not be able to treat until unless he does a CBC or some simple called as complete blood count to understand whether the fever is on account of malaria or a viral infection or a bacterial infection. Similarly, if somebody is having a chest pain and is rushed to the hospital, he will not be taken into an ICU or he will not be treated until unless the doctor confirms with the help of a troponin I test that the chest pain is on account of a heart attack or an acute myocardial infarction. So we manufacture these tests, and all the labs, friendly labs around you or the labs across India, like our Metropolis or for the matter Dr. Lal, Suburban Diagnostics, they all have used our test at some point of time. And we are today selling the largest number of glucose tests in India. We sell almost 800 million glucose tests in India, which is used for monitoring and testing diabetes, which is very common. Of course, we have more advanced tests as well. Now, coming to the, we are based in Mumbai, and we have some branch offices in Calcutta and New Delhi. Our factory is at Boisar, and we have ISO 9000 as well as CE certified. So we have even exports, but exports currently is at 5%. And our products are used primarily by the pathology laboratories, whether it is pathology laboratory of the hospital or a standalone laboratory. They use these instruments. They also use the reagents or the test kits which we manufacture, and they deliver you results. So that is the reason we call the mission of us is testing life and saving lives. So we help the doctors to test and save life, and also we are moving more towards the wellness. We have a lot of wellness tests which will help you to understand much before the time you get ill. For example, today I've been in the industry for last almost 30 years. Like for example, I don't know how many people know here about the HbA1c test. Okay, 1, 2, see 2 people or 3, 4. Out of maybe 15 or 20 people in the room, only 3 people. I have been interacting with very learned people, highly qualified people, IAS officers, okay. But when I talk to them about this has been my way of contributing to the society by giving back the knowledge. This test gives an average blood sugar for last 3 years, irrespective of how you prepare yourself before you go to the doctor to get a certificate to state to your family that I am okay. Okay, that is basically self-deceiving. Yes, you are very correct. Thank you, sir. And during my visits to the field, I have realized that it's a very big problem. I was visiting a ICCU of Nagpur in one of the places, as well as Dr. Mahurkar. He has got 20 beds, and some of my very dear person was admitted there. So had happened to be there for 24 to 48 hours. Out of the 20 beds in the ICCU, 18 beds were occupied by diabetics. That is the state of affairs. And this HbA1c, gentlemen, if you reduce it by 1%, that is, it's always measured by percentage, like 6%, 7%, 10%, normally is 6.5%. Your chances of getting heart attack goes down by 35%. So if we able to, if you are able to, this is I just gave the reference because this is a wellness test. Just manage it and manage your treatment, food, diet or exercise regime, and ensure that it's coming down by 1% or maybe 0.5%, and you are moving towards a healthy life. It's not a problem. It is manageable problem. Okay. Now coming to growth, for companies like us, growth is very critical. The average growth, as I've said earlier, is around 12 to 15%, the industry growth. And we have been able to deliver 30% growth in FY16. Then FY17, we've been able to deliver 17%. And in FY18, we had little trouble. We can also blame the GST, okay, well, like many people do it. But of course, it did affect us. The instrument sales were affected because of cash crunch, and also some issues with our distributors who were not ready for this like almost instantly. And we have a very good plan. I think we are bouncing back, and we are looking forward to a very good growth in this year. And in last year, our traditional business had little trouble because of GST, but we had some business which we started, which we call as point of care. This business has grown phenomenally at around 300% last year. We just launched this 2 years back. These are devices which people use in the physician's office, and also we slowly plan to move to the consumers. The first one which you see here is a hemoglobin on the left hand corner. Then is a blood glucose meter, And also we are very proud to say that we have launched an HbA1c meter, which is a handheld meter. Currently we are providing it only to the physicians. We may have some smaller version of this in future, so you can even have it at home. And also we manufacture, we have 21 lakh test capacity for manufacturing the rapid test for, like for example, malaria, dengue and HBsAg. These are tests which are again used in the labs and physician's office to confirm the diagnosis. So this has helped us to grow. This is a small division, but it has grown at a phenomenal 300%, and it has helped us to retain our market more than market growth. This year we plan to do around 62 CR, which is again, as somebody said, that we need to grow by not by incremental growth like 1x, 2x, 3x, 5x. It is possible. One example I give you how it's possible. Today I don't want to use any proverbs or quotes, and neither I'll use any company's reference. We'll discuss about opportunity and what kind of opportunity is available in this medical diagnostics, especially in vitro diagnostics. We have very high mortality rate in the ICUs or the ICCUs. It's primarily because of uncontrolled infections. I think some people are here from pharma also. The antibiotic abuse has resulted into such a complex environment wherein when you are critically ill, the antibiotics which are supposed to work and save you fail. And the trigger point from where the local infection, that is if you have a chest infection, becomes a blood infection, the infection spreads to blood. The trigger is very important. If the doctor is able to realize that the patient or the person is slipping down from a local infection to a sepsis, or a, what do we call it, as a local infection to a systemic infection. Okay, the trigger point is called as sepsis shock, and we have very high incidence of sepsis in the ICCU, and there we are able to add a lot of value by providing some very innovative test called as procalcitonin test. And this test will help the doctor to understand that the patient is getting out of your hand, the local infection is becoming systemic infection. He can take a very aggressive antibiotic treatment regime wherein he can administer multiple antibiotics to get the patient back in, or save the patient's life. And here some calculations are done. Like, we have approximately 140,000 ICU beds, and the number of patients who suffer from sepsis is around 28,000. And the number of tests which is done for each patient who is suffering from sepsis is 2 or 4. I've taken a moderate average. This is because we don't have any official agency or like for example ORG who will do. We have taken this as an estimate. And the potential for PCT test is around 3 million tests. And 400 rupees we can say, a single test is 120 CR. So this much of potential is available. I'm saying one is the potential part of it. Second is how it can help. This test can help, and this test cannot, this test cannot be done in a central lab. This test has to be done in the ICU. So we have devices which will help the physician or the resident doctor or the intensivist to do the test along with the blood gas analyzer in the ICU. So thus reducing the turnaround time and helping the patient and helping the doctor to take decisions instantly. And that's point of care. Testing at site or testing at the bedside of the patient. So this is a very good opportunity, and I'm very sure with this opportunity we are trying to capitalize. We are trying to address these requirements of the market, and that's how we are planning to grow by around 40%. It's 40% approximately, from 42 CR to 62 CR. And one of the most important thing as we do this is that we also are able to generate a lot of employment. In FY16, we had a headcount of 164, and today we have a headcount of 198. And I think we have few more vacancies still available. I think we should be able to cross 200 plus. So as Dan and Bradstreet has said that one of the most important thing about SME is that we generate a lot of employment. Yes, we generate a lot of employment, but also we have a lot of attrition. We train people, and at some point of time we see that people leaving us. So we had a very high attrition of last year. It's approximately 40%. So we have been trying to address this, and we can identify market, we can identify products, we can put systems in place, we can put SAP, we can put ERP, we can put CRM, but ultimately at the end of the day, we need people behind these processes to help us to deliver and drive the growth. And if we do not have people, it becomes very tough. And we are having tough times with this attrition. So what we have now come to a conclusion, and it's working very fine for us, that we will recruit fresh talent. As Mr. Rajan said, we are recruiting fresh talent, and 50% of our talent is fresh, out of college, out of management institutes, and 50% are people who are trained, who have experienced, and who can guide these talent. So we're trying to have a fair mix of talent as well as experienced. So this will help us. But there's a lot of pain that you need to train a lot, and we have put in a system, and we have allocated 10 percentage points on the KRAs for learning. And there are fixed discussions, and we have training programs which we have internally, and we also depute people for training. For example, I've been all the time in marketing and sales. I haven't undergone E&Y's finance for non-finance managers. So similarly, we have some people from finance, accounts rather, who has gone to an MMIS for an MBA in finance. So this way we are trying to develop people internally and trying to retain people. Although we are generating employment, but we as a SME, we find it difficult to retain people. So I think with that I close my address, and I hope I have been able to add some value by giving a little information and insights about our industry, as well as sharing our growth strategy. Thank you very much. If you have any questions,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You kind of being a director of sales and marketing for Accurex, we would love to hear from you if there is any innovative ways of marketing you have looked at doing for your product.
Yeah.
With the back of mind that you have to look at a multiple growth, being an SME.
Yeah.
You are also into a regulated market.
Yeah, we are.
How you really kind of getting into innovative ways or different ways of sales and marketing for your product?
Yeah. See, digital marketing is one thing which we find very helpful. Okay. And second is we also go to the different B class towns. See, today we don't want to focus on A class town, A or A plus. We are focusing on B class towns where there's a huge work which is required to be done. The people are more receptive, and the lead conversion time is very, very less. So we are focusing on B class towns, and once the base is set, then we try to replicate the success in A class cities like Mumbai. In Mumbai also, for example, we focus more on Borivali town, and plus here this side Kalyan down. So we have more success in that part of the country or the cities rather than so we can say a semi-rural marketing with the help of digital media, and we are happy to say that on Facebook we have 6,000 followers. Like for example, we have our digital person, Mr. Praveen, also here. So we just want to take this as a very important strategy for us, and we are investing a lot of time or management time to work on this, and we are seeing very good success also, and we are able to convert good leads which are getting out of digital marketing. And third point is we also are organizing what we call as customer interactive sessions, wherein we call a group of 25 to 30 customers or 25 to 30 distributors. And for us, it's very difficult to meet all these 35 at a time, and in which one of the senior management team is participating. So that interaction and feedback gives a lot of insights, and also we have spot booking. We book on the spot to recover. See, as a SME, we always think of for every activity, we think as we have an ROI calculation. Even we participate for example, exhibition in Medica in Germany, we have our own ROI, and we calculate it. So one thing about SME is that we have to always think about whatever investment we're making, we will have to recover it instantly, or maybe 1 month's time or 1.5 months' time. So this helps us. So these 3 steps, I would say, one is digital marketing, second is small customer group meetings, and third is about focusing on B-class towns is helping us to grow the business.
When you're looking at penetrating the B-class town,
Yeah.
which specific distribution model you are looking at?
See, we are required to maintain a cold chain for our consumables. So we have a pan-India distribution network of around 400 distributors, and these distributors are almost like they are the constant face to the customers. So we leverage their contacts to open the door for us. Rest of the job is done by our team members. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Prasad, for sharing that detailed insight, and I think it's a really great experience to get to the core details and implementable actions, and that's, I think, it's really we'll love to see. And after, of course, we have all these speakers sharing their insight, we'll also have a panel discussion, and I think that will use an opportunity to ask as many questions as possible. So thank you very much, Mr. Prasad.